I'm Lynn Cruser, and I grew up in northern Minnesota and with no religious affiliation at all. My dad claimed to be an atheist, and my mother pretty much said that when we got old enough, we could choose for ourselves what we wanted to believe. So the only really religious affiliation or influences in my life were my grandmother, who died when I was 12. And then I had a girlfriend who invited me to kids club when I was in elementary school. And it was there that I learned my very first Bible verse, which was John 3:16. And then the years just went by, and I really didn't have any friends or anybody really that shared anything about the Lord with me. Terry and I were married right out of high school, and by the time I was 21, we had 3 children, and after 14 years of struggling in our marriage, we moved to, Terry took a new position up on the North Shore of Lake Superior, and we moved up there to a little tiny town of 27 houses, and it was going to be a new start for our life. But without Christ, pretty soon you find yourself falling into the same old patterns, and we ended up just wondering if we were even going to make it. In this little town site of Taconite Harbor, where these 27 little houses were 2 Christian women, Mary Jane and Ruth. Women who loved the Lord and were diligent to pray for their neighbors. And they would walk around Taconite Harbor, which was 2 blocks in area, and pray for each individual family. And they did this for years. Well, one day I was over at Mary Jane's house, and I was sharing with her the struggle that Terry and I were having in our marriage. And unbeknown to me, by the time I left, she already had me on a prayer chain, and half the women of our county were praying for me. So the Lord was beginning to really work on my heart and on my life. And then I was at Mary Jane's a couple weeks later, and I noticed on her coffee table a book called The Bible in the Bermuda Triangle. And I asked her if I could read it. And she says, yeah, you go ahead. Well, wow, it had the gospel in it so clear. And before I even finished the book, I found myself on my knees on the edge of my bed asking Christ to come into my heart, to forgive my sins, and just help us to repair our broken lives. And boy, when I asked that, things began to change in a real hurry. I picked up the Bible, and it just absolutely came alive. I found new friends, people who encouraged me and walked alongside me and prayed with me, people who came and just took the very basic Bible stories that kids learn in elementary school about the Lord and Sunday school, and just taught me things, and it was just such a growing experience. And I am just so thankful that here we were in this little remote town of 27 people. Within 5 years, half of the town site came to know the Lord. And I really attribute that to the prayers of Mary Jane and Ruth, who just dedicated their life to that. And so I'm just thankful, and serving the Lord and growing in Him is something that the world does not offer. And I'm just so thankful for what the Lord has done in our life, in the life of our family and friends.